Green Goblin is one of Marvel's most important villains, and also is Spider-Man's #1 enemy. And like DC making a movie about the Joker, I will be making a movie about the Green Goblin. And it's something I kind of want Sony to do. And there is some rumors about it happening. So here's how me and my friend of mine who helps edit these videos, here we have is our Green Goblin movie. So, yeah, thank you a lot to one of my friends who helps edit these videos. I can't thank him enough. So the main villain of the film will be Kingpin, because this is about Green Goblin rising to power and becoming a Kingpin himself. So Kingpin is also the main rival of Green Goblin. The movie starts out at Oscorp, and then we see a scene where a bunch of criminals are stealing Oscorp tech. Two of these criminals that's leading this squad of villains is the Shocker, who has stolen gauntlets from Oscorp and uses them to rob it, and the Beetle, who has a whole suit that was stolen from Oscorp and also helps rob the building as well. This is actually quite severe, as it makes Norman Osborn quite angry and mad. He's losing money, losing equipment, and everything. However, Norman Osborn has one plan up his sleeve. He's decided to create a super soldier serum. We also see a few scenes of Harry Osborn, a young boy Harry Osborn. And this is basically about his character, and we can introduce to a young Harry Osborn and see the childhood relationship between his father and Harry. Norman Osborn needs to find some type of super soldier serum. But there's no human candidates to test the super soldier serum, so he decides to take matters into his own hands. And with Dr. Strom, he goes through his comic book accurate story of him becoming Green Goblin with gas from it and everything. So after him, he eventually goes off being crazy, killing Dr. Strom in the process, and even steals some Green Goblin tech during it, and there's that. Now, we may not see the scene, it might be something similar to Raimi's version of Green Goblin, actually. Anyways, Norman Osborn finds himself with these strong abilities, but also having sort of an identity disorder, and even talks to Green Goblin in the mirror. Eventually, this Green Goblin creates the Goblin costume and flies around with a glider. Then he flies around, going off and destroying some of the Kingpin's men during robberies. The Kingpin, furious at this astonishment, a vigilante in New York, as that's what people view the Green Goblin as for right now. He then sends the Beetle and the Shocker to go off and eliminate this threat. Green Goblin then flies over, flying and destroying as many as they can, where Shocker goes off and tries to blast them with his Shocker rays. Green Goblin then fights back and throws pumpkin bombs at him, only for the Beetle to fly off to try and attack him, and we see an interesting fight scene between the two. Green Goblin honestly battling the Beetle. It's a very tough fight, but Green Goblin ends up getting away. Green Goblin flying away and even laughing sinisterly as we see Green Goblin going off. Kingpin, very furious at his two best men, some people that has never failed him before, has now failed him. This makes him very furious. So, with this astonishment, he is mad. Norman Osborn constantly talks to himself in the mirror, the Green Goblin identity, very scared at the fact that he has an identity disorder really makes him very mad, and Green Goblin really tries to convince him that with his help, he can be the new Kingpin of New York City. The Green Goblin certainly was sinister and twisted Norman's mind to where Green Goblin starts taking Norman's mind again and again every time we see those two talk. The Kingpin is out of his industries, hating on this threat and crime. And then, while he's staring at the window, is where we see a pumpkin bomb thrown by the Green Goblin and explode. This really stirs up trouble. As Kingpin is struggling and fighting Green Goblin, the Beetle also comes in to help him fight the threat. Green Goblin fights the Beetle and the Kingpin as Green Goblin throws pumpkin bombs at both of them, destroying the building more and more. Kingpin eventually gets away, however the Beetle stays the fight, but eventually dies by the wrath of a pumpkin bomb and destroyed suit. The Kingpin, being very furious, however, noticed that his tech is the Oscorp tech, and makes the conclusion that Green Goblin could potentially be working for his rival, Norman Osborn. Kingpin, noticing this, decides to end up kidnapping Harry Osborn to try and see if he's correct, and also try to blackmail Norman Osborn as well. With this, it certainly doesn't look good for Harry Osborn, as he always struggles enough, as his father is never there for him. Norman Osborn constantly going off and talking more and more to himself, and Green Goblin once again convincing him more and more to kill the Kingpin once and for all. Norman still can't believe he's killing people, however the Green Goblin keeps soothing his mind, telling him it's okay, twisting his thoughts, going very deadly, insecure, and everything. Green Goblin laughs sinisterly in the mirror. However, the Shocker eventually strikes. Him and his men ends up breaking into Norman's home, kidnapping Harry Osborn in the process. Harry being very scared, and basically, yeah, he's very scared. After that, Shocker really kidnapping Harry ends up leaving a message on who did this. So this obviously stirs trouble, where Green Goblin then goes off to try and save Harry, since he's not all that evil yet. Keyword yet. Green Goblin trying to save his own son, or at least Norman's son, and tries to go off and tries to save Harry. However, finding himself at one of Kingpin's hidden facilities, Kingpin taunts Green Goblin and saying that he knows he works for Norman. And then he goes off and convinces Green Goblin and say, "Do you indeed work for Norman?" However, Green Goblin instead takes off the mask, showing it is indeed Norman. After this, he throws pumpkin bombs at Kingpin, battling him through an epic fight and dual strength. Kingpin is very strong, don't forget that, as Green Goblin is also very strong due to the Super Soldier Serum, or the Goblin Serum as now it's called, goes off battling. Kingpin also orders Shocker to help him, Shocker blasting him with his Shocker Rays and everything, fighting Green Goblin, and more. Green Goblin, Shocker duke it out as they fight, as well as Kingpin also there with this epic climactic duel. However, Green Goblin has some tricks up his sleeves, throwing many pumpkin bombs, only to knock Shocker unconscious, leaving him for dead. Green Goblin then goes after Kingpin, as Kingpin tries to make another escape from the grasp of the Goblin. Kingpin going off, trying to run. Green Goblin and him then battles and fights. However, Kingpin gets away. Luckily, Green Goblin was able to find Harry Osborn and save him from the grasp of the Kingpin. Norman Osborn then turns fully into the Green Goblin, and names Norman Osborn is indeed no more. And he is now the new Kingpin of New York, destroying many of Kingpin's facilities. Green Goblin now controls all of New York. Well, maybe not all, but most of it at least. Destroying many more buildings. So that is it. That is our Green Goblin movie. Yeah, honestly, the story I think really works good. I really wish this is how a Green Goblin movie could go. Anyways, thanks for watching. And by the way, I am doing something similar to this and starting an actual official SCU. This is not really officially a part of the SCU. However, I will do something similar to this, and that is indeed how the SCUs work. So this is sort of a teaser, but I do hope this is how a Green Goblin movie would work. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button if you want to. Bye.